is the 200 level. Mike Carpenter in the basement studio on a chilly, snowy, at least snow-covered Saturday morning is Illinois with a sleepy first half for the most part. And then the lineup of Dre Gibbs Lawhorn, Jake Davis, Trey White, Ben Rickhouse, and Merez Johnson infuses some life into the proceedings and gives Illinois a 38-35 lead at halftime. It was not a good half until it was. Now, there are still concerns going forward in this game as we're about to get underway with the second half. USC essentially getting to the rim whenever they wanted to. Very uncharacteristic for this Illinois defense. The thing is, USC is going small. And while that can present problems on defense, it feels like you have an opportunity offensively to attack. And while I understand the inclination to shoot threes because you have some guys that can make them, you were 3 for 14. Now, 5 of those were Kylan, and he made none of them. But even after that, you're 3 of 9, which I guess 33%, you could be worse, but you could be better. You are getting a lot of what you wanted to, at least the second half of that first half, at the rim. So why get cute? Attack. And then if you can somehow tighten up defensively a little bit and really, oddly enough, rebound the ball better. Not an issue for this team this year, but today it has been a little bit. So uncharacteristic first half. You still found yourself with the lead, fortunately. And I just want to go on record and say this. I tweet it. I say it sometimes. I love Dre Gibbs Lawhorn. I love what he brings. And to think about how that half ended, you tie the game with a long Ben Rickhouse 3. You go back defensively. You force a miss from USC, but they get their own offensive rebound. But Dre reads a passing lane, intercepts it, 8 seconds left. He goes down. He finds Trey White for the up and under layup. And there you go. So pretty cool stuff. At the end of that half, the question will be, how do you start it? Was that true momentum, or was that merely a run against a USC team that is capable, it looks like today, of pulling off an upset? They've been playing well. Illinois will start with their starting 5 minus KJ. So Will Riley will be out there as well to start this. Hello to the few of you on YouTube this morning on I don't like these morning games. In the Brad Underwood era, they just don't seem to go well for some reason. And it feels like it's probably been sleepy at the State Farm Center. And listen, USC, they're playing at 9 a.m. their time. I thought that'd be an advantage, but not really for much of that. So USC held the lead for 16-33. We're underway, by the way, just underway. A 10-2 run to end the half, though, puts Illinois up 38-35. So Colin Boswell, left side of the perimeter here. He's going to drive it towards the sideline, and it will be deflected out of bounds. He'll stay with Illinois with 17 to go. All right, let's see. R-Dog, how you doing? I'm doing great, Russell. Appreciate it. This is from Mark. Kylan, stop shooting threes. Run the offense. Don't disagree, and I really like Kylan, but the threes, at least 3 of those were just pull-ups with nothing to do with the offense. Ben Rickhouse, a bank shot from about 12 feet away, and it goes in, 40-35. So Ben is diversifying his offensive portfolio. 19:30 to go. So again, smaller lineup. AG is the undersized big. He's number 12 for USC. Thomas Love on him. A drive to the lane, kick back out for USC. I don't know any of their names. I'm just going to go with numbers here. But AG, I do know. He had a pretty good first half. Up, no good. Rebound for Illinois. Trey White. So far, so good. 1 make for Illinois, 1 miss for USC. Trey on the right side of the perimeter. Trying to drive it in. He goes baseline, up, under, but too strong. And he had a few of those early in the first half. I don't know why he, all year, who's been so good around the rim, seems to be speeding up today around it. USC ball with 18:45 to go. Left side of the perimeter, they get a foul. I think they get Kyle in his leg. Might have helped trip USC's player. I don't know how many fouls that is on Kylan. Watching this replay here, he first almost gets the steal. It looks like his left arm, they got him on a bit of a hand check. That's the 3rd foul on Kylan. Normally, I'd say that's bad, but here's the thing. You loved what you saw from Dre. This forces the issue. Dre's back in there. So let's see what happens. I think offensively, especially, that doesn't necessarily hurt Illinois the way Dre was playing. All right, 18:40 to go. Here's USC on the drive. Good help from Tomislav. I mean, oh, God. Claude just uses that pivot foot expertly, puts it in. He's having a big game. Why does that name Desmond Claude feel like it was bandied about? He was a transfer from somewhere, right? From where, I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like his name was percolating on Illini message boards last year a little bit. Tomislav with AG on him. Back out to Dre. The long three is up and no good. And a rebound for USC. All right, I got a couple things in the chat thread I'll get to here in a bit, but USC makes another shot. This one a mid-range jumper, 40-39. So they have had a couple successful trips in a row now. Illinois just one shot made in this half. Trey White three is no good. Can't make a damn three, but a foul on the floor on USC. I tweeted it out in the first half, lazy and uninspired. I don't like that shot. I don't like when Kylan was doing it. I say this as a Kylan and Trey fan because they've been really smart and tough basketball players this year. But why 5 seconds into the shot clock just launching up a three? I don't understand that. All right, here is Ivasic. That's an in-rhythm three. Nice pass, easy find, and shot. So back up 43-39. 17-35, Illinois 4 for 17 from three. From the elbow, USC up and good. They're making their mid-range shots. I mean, I don't mind forcing the Desmond Claude. Just one of those guys who, if I recall, was a big transfer get or a decent name who was productive wherever he was before. Cannot shoot the three, but his game is strong. Ivasic, no good. He does not get the board. Just some misses from Illinois that are a little bit frustrating. Not point blank. That would have been a tough shot, and that's a really bad shot there by AG. Not AG, or was it AG? But he's hurt right now. Will Riley over to Ivasic, but AG does get back. He was like writhing in pain there on the ground for a second. Will Riley up. They're going to wave this off and say it was on the floor, which is unfortunate. But, yeah, a little histrionics there from AG. I mean, he got back down on the court. If you're hurt, take him out. Let's not worry about this too much. Looks like he might have got poked in the eye, though. Well, what the hell? He's just flailing around like a doofus and then holding his face. He rammed his own head into Ivasic. That was a travel anyway. You know, between that and Ace Baldwin's flop, which hurt his butt, I just don't have a lot of sympathy for that. And air ball from Benham Rickhouse. And no transition D. Boy, guys, this is going to be a close game. The Illinois is showing that they are not mentally in the headspace to do what they need to do to go on an extended run and win this in any sort of easy fashion. So this is going to be a dogfight because you allowed USC to come in and get comfortable. And a bad turnover from Dre. Trying to find Merez, I guess. And a block and out of bounds USC ball. But just, yeah, Jacob says Illini D is what's killing them. It's terrible defense. That transition D on the last one, non-existent. Benham Rickhouse was pointing like, hey, someone get this guy. Well, Ben, you just run down there and get him yourself. What the hell? You're not slow. You're 6'9". Oh, boy. Just a frustrating game in a lot of respects. 43 all, 16-10 to go. Momentum for what little that's worth. This is a take from Desmond Claude up and in. And a foul. Yeah, man, I don't know. USC's been better all game than you have. Save a 10-2 run. Let's just get this out of the way. This would be a disastrous loss. KJ or not. Disaster. Because if you want to talk about Big Ten titles and things like that, you can't afford home losses against subpar Big Ten teams. USC is a subpar Big Ten team. Of course they have talent. And they will steal a few wins this year. You just don't want to be the team on the receiving end of that. So Desmond Claude, free throws up and good. It's back to a 3-point USC lead. So in the first 4 minutes, they've outscored you by 6. You are not stopping them. So I don't know what the halftime spiel was, but it didn't really do much for this Illinois team. Here we go with Will Riley trying to make something happen on offense. He's driving up and in. Nice finish there from Will off the glass. Back to a 1-point game. And your lineup right now is Kylan is back in there with 3 fouls. So they value his defense, clearly. Dre sits. Merez trying to stop Claude. And they're going to get a foul because Merez jumped. I mean, this right here, though, we had someone in Desmond Claude. I'll have to look up his stats. But like DJ Davis for Washington, what he did. Why is it the career games? And I'm going to look up Desmond Claude and make sure that he is their best player. So it's not like he's some sort of bench dude. So you had 19 points for him against Michigan at home, 15 against Indiana. He's consistently getting 15-plus points. Okay, fine. You have no answer for him right now. Kind of surprises me because when you have like a Trey White, who's a 6'7", good size, you would think that would be a good matchup defensively, but clearly not. While we have a break, got to let you know the 200 level brought to you by Hamilton Walkers, downtown Champaign. Steak, seafood, and spirits. Great spot for dinner, for a post-game meal, hopefully celebratory one if Illinois does, in fact, win this game. And date nights, all that stuff. It's really a great mix of, you could go there super formal if you wanted to. You can go there informal. Jeans, T-shirt, they are not pretentious at all, despite being, for my money, the best restaurant in Champaign-Urbana. That's Hamilton Walkers in downtown Champaign. Also, Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend. Give them a call at 217-841-4728. Thank goodness our furnace is working well in this, what's been a cold winter. Yeah, I know we've had worse, but it's just, you get outside. I do the shoveling yesterday. I get back in. My hands are freaking ice blocks, and fortunately, our furnace is kicking butt right now. It's nice and toasty in here, nice and toasty even in the basement. They've really done a great job, and I highly recommend Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, 217-841-4728. Owen Builders, LLC. I'm on at owenbuildersllc.com. Got to thank Luke and the guys over there, expert craftsmen on a variety of home projects, which you can check out a gallery of their work and get a free quote online at owenbuildersllc.com. And finally, got to thank State Farm agent Brian Hansen online at brianismyguy.com. Life, auto, home, business renters, you name it, Brian is my guy. And he can be your guy as well at brianismyguy.com. This from Ben D. As ugly as that first half was, it really was a great bad half of basketball. So much better than a bad half in a game like this has looked from previous BU teams. Ben, I guess in some respects, I think that expectations change a lot of that. And when you see what you did against Penn State, it's not that you were expecting a repeat performance, but you were expecting something better than this. So I get what your point is, and it's clear that the floor is raised in this program where we would be so alarmed by a game where you were never trailing by more than 6, I think, and then you were leading at halftime despite all of that. I think as this second half has gotten started, though, my concerns are right back to where they were. This is just a really bad defensive effort. And I know it's unusual because USC is going small. But I don't know. Defense, a lot of it is a want-to thing. And you got the athletes to be better defensively than you have been against USC. And it's just not working for whatever reason. So we'll see what happens. This is from Ryan. Claude's season high is 26, so expect quite a few more points from him today. He's already got 18. He's really good, but it's frustrating that he's already probably surpassed his season average with 15 minutes to go. So we have the starting lineup back in there for Illinois. This is Kylan trying to drive it up and fouled. So I think this will be called a shooting foul and hopefully get him to the line, where Illinois has had a lot of success today so far. Hornery. Okay, interesting name. Nice stash. USC 9-6 on the year, 1-3 in the Big Ten. Struggles for Musselman in his first year. He's a good coach. I mean, a lot of success at Arkansas and a very temperamental figure, so easy to see why he might wear out his welcome in certain places. It's weird how USC and UCLA just have two fiery, rather unlikable guys at the helm. And yeah, Brad Underwood can be fiery, as Kylan makes both. and I'm not trying to be a homer. I mean, early on, Brad Underwood was sort of more the trajectory of that, like super pissed off on the sideline, stomping around. He's really changed, I think, quite a bit his demeanor with that and picked his spots the best he can. Ben Rickhouse tries to draw the foul. He does not. Hornery three is up and no good, fortunately, and a board for Boswell, who's going to try to push it, get some pace here. And no one open, so he's got to reset a half-court offense with 14:45 to go in a one-point game. So fortunately, Hornery missed that for USC because there was a little bit of a problem getting back set defensively. A timeout for USC as Kylan turns it over. Just dribbled it off his foot. It's that kind of stuff that's just, it's really frustrating. I mean, wake up, guys. I don't know. Shoot, there's 14:30 to go. This is the second half. This is like time to be the top 15 team that I think you are, that I think they are. From Justin, I think the boys maybe tied one on last night. Not looking very awake from row 14 in the 200 level. I'd hope not, Justin. I don't know if they're going to be like Mike Woodson's Indiana teams, which have actually gotten caught going out the nights before games. It's just the shooting thing will happen. It will. But even against Penn State, the three-point shooting wasn't the star of the show. It was the fact that you got to the rim. That was one. And two, you did not let them score. Now, Penn State's a different matchup than USC. I think that USC we're seeing, they're basically a collection of 6'5", 6'6" guards and wings. The thing that's really frustrating about it is USC is not a great shooting team. And even today, from three-point range, they aren't killing you. I know AG got 2 of them, and that's frustrating because he'd been 2 for 8 on the year. But they're getting basically whatever they want. And sometimes that's mid-range jumpers, and I know that your defense sort of allows for that. But way too much at the rim. Way too much at the rim. And you wonder, what can you do to adjust here? I mean, you got to play bigs, whether it's Tomislav or Merez. You got to have a big out there. So then that's naturally going to put you at a weird disadvantage if you're trying to just go, man. I wouldn't go so far as to say do an outright zone against them. I'm just trying to think, what can you do to not have a big like a Rickhouse or a Morez or Tomislav get stuck in no man's land against a 6'6" guy. That one little shimmy, he's loose for a layup. The problem is that whenever these are happening, there's no help. There's no one back there to help, and that's probably because they're extending our bigs further out of their comfort zone, and they just aren't responding well. From Justin, the defensive effort is non-existent at times. If they would just stay on, USC would not even be in this game. I mean, I'm impressed with USC's toughness today. And they do have some dudes, but it's not like I'm watching USC and thinking, man, some switch must have clicked and all of a sudden USC's good after struggling all this year. I'm not getting that sense. It's just that they are playing well for them and we're playing piss poor for us. That might sound like a slight to USC, but it's objective that first year under Musselman, they're just whatever. But today, Illinois is just bad. By their standards, and it's time to fix that. Here's a take from Claude, baseline. The 3 for USC is up and good. Didn't get out strong enough on D. I don't know. I think if Bronny James were on USC, this would be even more frustrating. But I bet you Bronny would have a few plays against Illinois today. Here's Kylan. He does not shoot the 3. Had thought about it. Will Riley, thinking of trying to make something happen here. He finds Tomislav, nice feed, and Tomislav misses it. Too many misses from Tomislav around the basket. He is really plateaued offensively after a November where I thought, damn, man, you got a big that can do anything offensively. And a take for USC is fortunately no good, but a rebound by AG. Illinois is just flat-footed and uninspired. And right now they're staring down the barrel of a bad loss that will affect their seed line and would take them, I think, if not take them out of the Big Ten race, but significantly hamper it as they're trailing by 6. So they've been outscored by 9 points in the second half. Will Riley, up and good. Good stuff, Will. Frustrating. Now, I don't know how much anger I have right now because I'm not going to match their sleepiness with a bunch of histrionics. Just get your head out of your butt. Win this game. Getting out rebounded 24-19 against a USC team where you are significantly bigger than they are. And the take from Claude is no good. Some good D there from Trey White. Trey White trying to take it to the rim. Up, good, but they're going to call foul on the ground against USC. Let's see. From Caitlin, being out rebounded by USC is pathetic. They were ranked like 250. Yeah, they're one of the worst rebounding teams, not just in the Power 4, but in college basketball. They're in the bottom third. Yeah. This is going to be Will Riley getting fouled going to the rim. He will shoot 2. Hopefully Will can make a couple here. He's been inconsistent from the line this year, but it is good to see some more activity from him because he is making shots today. And your ceiling, I feel like, is predicated on a guy like him. Because of Kasparas, which fortunately it sounds as if this is rest him one more game, get him back next week for the road trip. You need a guy like Will Riley to kind of regain his as he misses the free throw. It's just first miss from the free throw all game for Illinois. So I can't be too upset. But this game, you're going to need everything. But he does significantly raise that ceiling, I think, for Illinois. The floor is somewhat established, but unfortunately we're seeing the floor today from Illinois. He does make the second free throw. It's a 3-point game with 12:56 to go. I just don't – listen, I know the crowd's probably a little bit sleepy too because the students aren't there. And I'd say, well, why are they getting into it? Well, the problem is there's been a lot of those moments for USC today where you would want to get into it. And then they make a play, and it's just, oh, God. And I've been in situations like that where you want to so badly get into it, and yet you just have play after play that just kind of zaps you out of it. 3 from Dre is up and good. So we got a tie game with 12:30 to go. Nice find from Will in transition. Okay, 12:24 to go. Can you get another stop? That's 2 stops in a row for Illinois. Defense. And crowd looking a little bit more engaged here. You sense these moments when you're at a game like this where as a take, no one stops Claude. And this is why you have a hard time maintaining that. Immediate garbage, says Ryan. 21 points for Desmond Claude. Could someone just get a hand in that dude's face? I mean, it's just, where's the want to here? Long 3 from Will. Bad. This is going to be AG. And a 3 from Claude. No, he pump fakes. And he traveled, so a break for Illinois. But you're trailing by 2 in the under 12 timeout. Someone do something. Say, that's my guy. Body his ass up. The same day with DJ Davis. You are allowing individuals to dictate whether or not the other team stays in the game. And that's sports. Basketball, sometimes guys go off. But it's not as if you don't have the athletes to potentially match up with Claude. So just do it. Is the AG guy going to single-handedly keep them in the game? No. If you take Claude out of it, you're going to win this game. But unfortunately, when you let a guy get downhill like that, and he's already got 21 points with 12 to go, you probably can't put that genie back in the bottle. He's probably going to keep producing. Now, that is probably a basketball-wide problem. But I would agree with the notion, and this reminds me of like old Maryland games where who was their small forward that would always give you fits? Like a Dante Scott, who felt like he was there for 6 years. And you're like, just stop him. Like, somebody. Just keep him from getting everything he wants. I mean, this is not, I admit, great analysis as to how do you stop Desmond Claude, but for God's sake, do something. Force the ball out of his hands. Yeah. Hey, Isaac. Good to see you, but Merez is getting worked by Claude. It's not totally his fault. It's a bad matchup. Yeah. It is a bad matchup. Eric says, just relax. I mean, me or the team? I don't know. It is what it is, Eric. I'm not at my angriest. You should have seen me during the Washington game. I feel like that was getting away from us. But I feel like, if anything, the team is too relaxed right now. And when you are winning games like this, when you're 4-1 in the Big Ten, you're a top 15 team, and you see what you did against Penn State, I understand the mental aspect of that, where you do think, just like I thought as a fan, you'll take care of it. No big deal, right? But this sleepwalking thing for most of the game, defensively more so. I mean, offensively, there's been some unfortunate decisions, a lack of focus, a lack of clean execution, and sometimes just not making the shot. Okay, that's one thing, but it's just the defense had been this team's calling card. And even against Washington, frustrating as that game got at certain points in the second half, uh, that was what won you the game, and it still can. The defense ultimately still can win you this game, but God, we're 30 minutes almost into it, and I'm just waiting for something to click where you can get more than just 2 consecutive stops. You had that opportunity there. Third possession, Claude makes a big shot, and that's just unfortunately kind of been the tail of the game. Now, did this guy make that golf shot from all the way down to the other end of the court? Maybe this will help turn the tide. They're showing this for a reason, right? Did it go through? Oh, God. See, I don't like the... Not that I believe that a John Deere HW giveaway is necessarily going to impact the game, but damn, that guy almost holed it, and it just went out, which kind of feels like Illinois' three-point shooting today. All right. We have 11:30 to go. Kylan driving it, and he turns it over. He has had a bad game by any measure. Merez goes up and contests AG. Wow, no foul on it, and Illinois gets the ball back. Good job, Merez. He went straight up. I'm glad they had the no call. And they're going to call a travel on Will Riley. Would like to see that replay because it looked like it was going to be an and one. To my blind eye, I didn't see anything. So here's the play. His left foot, if you want to get particular about it, his left foot slid slightly. Help me out, YouTube chat. Is that often called, that kind of travel? I mean, if it hadn't been called, is USC even complaining? I don't think so. That seems a bit, how would you say, as Claude scores again, just not stopping him. I don't know, guys. We got 10 minutes to go. 10:45. That's what's going to be. That's what's going to be. Kylan finds Will. So Will's got confidence going here. He's trying to score again, but he has to kick it back out to Kylan. Jake, it didn't seem like a big travel to me, but that's a 4-point swing, potentially 5-point if it would have been a and one. Here's Dre. No good, but Merez gets the board. He's going to try to take it up himself. He kicks it out to Will for the 3. Will, I thought got fouled. Jake misses the shot. Merez up, no good, and they aren't going to get a foul on USC for any of that. I like the effort there, but as Ryan says, 4 misses on 1 possession, not our day today. The thing is, Ryan, you got 10 minutes to go. You got plenty of games, so you got to get your head out of your butt and make it happen. AG wants the 3. It's no good. All right. Good job by Kylan stopping Claude there in that possession. I'll let AG shoot those 3s. I know he made his first 2, but... Okay, Merez with a good job getting the loose ball from Kylan. Jake Davis, right now the offense just kind of wackadoo. I can't figure out what they're... Chicken with its head cut off. Be there, Will. No, God, he just can't make it. Out of bounds, USC. Well, I think that was off USC, but regardless, it looks like it'll be their ball. Man, this is just bad. Kasparis would be huge. I understand that, but you got to win this game without Kasparis. You just have to. And if you don't, I don't like the ramifications of it. I mean, long season left, and it's not as if Brad Underwood's had good teams that haven't lost bad games before and recovered from it. There's always this weird mid-January swoon in a way, too. The middle of the month. Okay, damn, we almost lost the rebound, but Kylan is there to corral it, fortunately. He's going to try to drive it himself, up and in. Nice take, Kylan. So a 2-point game. 9:10 to go. Man, weird game. Sometimes they just are, and sometimes you can chalk it up to, hey, if you win by 1, that's all that matters. And this is one of those situations. Win by 1. Show that grit on a day where you just didn't have it. Here's Claude. Great job by Kylan to get that. Get it, Dre. Come on, finish, baby. Up and in. No foul called, but that's all right. We have a tie game. Kylan with the steal. Transition. We're back to square with 8:40 to go. Okay, so Trey White is on Desmond Claude. I think that's about as good as you're going to do because Kylan's giving up a few inches height-wise. Merez helps here. That's up and in. God dang, man. We just let him kind of float to that spot and just shoot it. That's the one guy you can't let score. Let anybody else shoot it. Let anybody else shoot it. Kylan to Dre, the 3. No good. Merez gets the board. He's trying to look for somebody, but it's a foul on USC. They're 6. Only 3 on Illinois this half. So eventually you might have free throws become a part of this equation. God. The one thing I'll say in defense of this game, it is moving somehow fairly quick. You would think, because it's not very aesthetically pleasing, that it'd be one of those 2-hour, 20-minute games. No, it's moving quick. You're going to have plenty of day after this, but I don't want to spend the rest of the day thinking, what the hell was that? Just get the win. 8:07 to go. Inbound play. Here's Ben. Left side. He's trying to go one-on-one. He's got a few inches on his guy here. Ben kicks it out to Trey White. 3's no good, but Ben gets the board. Here's Kylan. Back to Ben. I thought he traveled, but he didn't, fortunately. Whew. Kylan with the ball. 12 on the shot clock. Still time. And they're going to call a clean steal there on USC. And a dunk. Wow. Damn. That's a turn. I don't know, Ryan. Get a tech, ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. You can't, if you get a tech now with this limited time left and you're down 4, I don't like that. 7:20 to go. Illinois ball. Trey to Ben, the 3. No good. And a rebound for USC. Not looking good right now. I can't say can't lose this game because there is a good chance they will lose this game. Here's Claude. Unstoppable. And it is a 6-point USC lead. Just a lack of toughness. I think the most bothersome thing to me is you can't allow one guy to do that. 27 points season high. That's frankly bullshit to allow that to happen. Benham Rickhouse 3. It's good. Timeout from Brad. Put Jake Davis on him. I don't care. Just bullshit. Yep. All right. What do you got left to do? I mean, I'm trying to keep my cool about this, but he's got 27 of their 63 points. I'm no mathematician, but that is essentially, oh boy, 4 out of 9. It's about 45% of their output is Claude. Jacob says double him. I mean, you know what this reminds me of, Jacob? It reminds me of there was a Bears playoff game back in 2006 against Carolina. And Lovie Smith refused to double Steve Smith, who ended up getting like 230 yards receiving and just killed the Bears. But he refused to double him. Eventually, desperate times, he is getting wherever he wants. And no, it's not as if he's a bad player, but we have not done anything to adjust. And now we got, 6 minutes, 5 and change left. You spent all this game letting a guy get 27 of their 63 points. And if it had merely been 20, you win the game. That's it. If it had merely been 20. So what are we doing here? Just that right there. And if you're saying, well, Carp, what's your problem with Underwood with that? Like, what would you have him do? And players do make plays. That is true. That's 100% true. I mean, basketball, sometimes you could probably roll out the kitchen sink and someone's going to get theirs. But for the macro of which Brad is so good, and I actually think that macro often extends into the game plans themselves. I think sometimes what gives this Illinois team an advantage is they kind of know, here's what we're going to do against this team. And over the course of 40 minutes, they tend to do that well. It's when the unexpected happens that you do worry, where is that ability to adjust? So listen, on the bingo card of, coaching attributes, most of those squares are filled for Brad Underwood. They really are. But that one is, you see enough examples where it does concern you a little bit. That's all. That's all I'm saying. And It's funny because some would interpret that and peg me as like an anti-Brad. I'm not anti-Brad Underwood. He's a fantastic coach, and there are very few, including Eric freaking Musselman, that I would trade him for. But in a game like today, you had enough dudes to counter Desmond Claude. I mean, Casper is playing would have had an impact offensively, no doubt. But how much would it have changed defensively? Would Desmond Claude have less than 27 points if KJ was playing? I don't know. KJ's a decent defender, so don't get me wrong about that. But yeah, I don't know. As Justin said, can we take 10 points off that Penn State win and apply them here, please? It's funny, Justin. I looked at the spread, 14.5 before the game. Maybe got down to 13.5. And I thought, that's a lot, but I can't bet on Illinois in the state of Illinois. AG3 is up and good. Down 6 with 6:20 to go. Yeah, it's just bad, Illinois. It's just really bad. And I don't know. Do something or suffer a bad loss at home. Trey is going to lose us out of bounds. Yeah, this ain't happening, guys. The team is all out of sorts. Damn. That's frustrating. That's really frustrating. There's game left, so it's not over. But in crunch time, USC, they just said it made last 4 field goals. You're not contesting anything. They're going to finish with 75, 80 points. And there's a dunk. They're going to win this game. Just an abysmal effort from Illinois. And I'm not going to raise my voice or anything as Kylan gets blocked, and now we're just like a chicken with its head cut off. But I don't know. In what would be a tight Big Ten race where Michigan is very consistent and Michigan State is playing like a Tom Izzo Michigan State team. Claude is up and good. It is a 10-point USC lead. This does not bode well. It's a 10-point USC lead. Timeout, Brad Underwood. Bad stuff. How you can come out at home on what was a 9 o'clock start for USC and let them punk you like that is ridiculous. And Brad Underwood has some things to figure out. You need Casper's back, of course. But for every good thing that was thrown this team's way, and all of it deserved after the Penn State game, this is garbage. I agree, XAR. Czar? Absolute garbage performance is what you say. Yeah, it's garbage. And when Rashawn Gary is flexing on your home court, who? Exactly. No offense. Or Rashawn AG, sorry. Rashawn Gary's a football player. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. 29 points for Claude. 12 for Yates, the third. 11 for AG. 9 for Agbo. Yeah. From K. Andrew, Brad doesn't run sets, sits back and watches half-court offense. You just implemented booty ball with Ben. Why not also give inside-out looks with Tommy? That's how you help Ivisic be more successful. Well, Tommy's been a non-factor. And like I said, offensively is just stagnated. Worrisome, really, because you saw a lot from him in November, December. But this is bad. And just very reminiscent of like the Maryland games. What the hell is so difficult about this? Yep, not good. 5:13 to go. Illinois 8 for 24 from the field. This happened more troubling. USC's 15 for 24. So what is that? 5 of 8. That's not quite 60%, but close. And listen, easy to shoot 60% when you got like dunks and layups, and you get to whatever spot you want to. Dre finds Jake Davis for 3. No good. Out of bounds. USC ball. Can't corral the rebound there. Oh, wow. This is one of the worst losses of the, let's say, successful Brad, because the first 2 years were what they were. You know, you're building, trying to make it happen. Losing on the road to Northwestern is frustrating, but it's on the road, and USC does that sometimes. But this is a total Total buzzkill. As Dre traveled. Illinois is just loopy right now, man. Ben makes it. It's an 8-point game with 4:30 to go. But what the hell is this? Jake asked if this is a quad 2 loss. Probably. Now, Ryan, you say this week has a chance to be a total bloodbath. I think they split on the road as Illinois gives up a dunk there. But, boy, this is a really I mean, this is the kind of game that's so jarring where it's like, wait, what do I actually think about this team? When's football season start? No, I not to overreact. But what do you say? Casper's out, fine. But don't get punked at home like this. Jacob says a quad 3 loss. Well, yeah. Here's why that matters, Jacob. If it ends up remaining a quad 3 loss, because I don't think USC is going to go on some heater after this. A lot of season left, but it's the kind of thing that makes it more likely that you're like a 4 or 5 seed than certainly a 2 or 3. Because after this week, had you beaten USC and just done what you did, you're a 3 seed, you remain that way. Because the Oregon win did a lot for you last week. And then you're in that conversation for, well, if they keep this up, they could be a 2 seed. Probably not a 1. Well, if you said you were the quad 3 loss just kind of dangling there, you're firmly entrenched in that 4 or 5, which means you get a 1 in the Sweet 16, and that's not going to bode well. Now, Claude missed a dunk, but he got to the rim no problem at all. Hemrickhouse just needs to, like, chuck a 3. I don't know. We need a shot bad. With 3:38 to go, Hemrickhouse tried to make something happen. Kicks it over to Trey White in the corner. Trey wants it. He's going to take a baseline. And I don't know what happened there. 5 second. Eric says, I think they lose both on the road. Well, then that's a problem. Indiana's not very good. I know it'll be a tough environment, but the thing about basketball, I mean, it can change very quickly from game to game. They can come back and bounce back. I hate this feeling because I understand you aren't going to win every game. But losing on the road to Indiana or losing on the road to Michigan State, that's the one you can swallow just because that's a road game. This just has such home game against Maryland vibes to me, and it makes it really frustrating because it's so damn predictable. And it's like, where's the urgency? Yeah, you aren't going to win every game, but where's the urgency to just get the shit done at home against USC? Like, this is puzzling. Trey stepped out of bounds. Second time that's happened today, according to Jake. Yeah, you're right. Well, one with Trey for sure. One with Ben. Just bad. Just really bad. And I thought that maybe you had turned over a leaf going into halftime with that run, but one thing to miss shots is another just look like your head's up your butt. Very frustrating. That just zaps so much of the wind out of the sails. It's not like losing at home it's not like what would happen if you lost at home to Purdue in football. That would be far too dramatic of an analogy. But I don't know. This was supposed to be take care of business, and then you have 2 road games. Can you split them? And if so, you are still in great shape for the Big Ten title. I'm not talking Big Ten title anymore. Now it's just, okay, let's get right. Let's get KJ back and get right. And maybe there's some value to that in not having to focus on the Big Ten title. But, like, it was right there for you. And I'm sorry, you were playing like the best team in the Big Ten. Only to lose at home to USC? Man, Brad's getting roasted in this YouTube thing. Seth says, Musselman owned Brad. He knows that Brad can't coach. I mean, do people actually think Brad can't coach? I'm not one of those, but it's funny. I will get pegged sometime as the negative anti-Brad Underwood guy. There are some people, some Illini fans, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just making a statement of what some Illini fans think. They think he is a terrible actual coach. Like, he amasses talent. He's really good at that. But when it comes to actually in-game coaching, I think some Illini fans think he's just terrible. I don't know about that because I don't think you can win that many games being a terrible in-game coach. But this is bad. And I'm not going to excuse any part of this. And it just zaps energy out before the Indiana game. And then you go in there and Omar Ballo getting what he wants. And I mean, listen, their guards don't scare me as much, but USC didn't scare me either. So now we're gonna have this little fake rally here, a turnover from USC, and I'm like, where was this urgency with 12 to go? Now we're making adjustments with 4. We stood pat. So if I were to go with some of what you guys in the YouTube feed are saying, that Brad got outcoached by Musselman terribly. Like Musselman knows that Brad can't coach, is what Seth said. If I were to go with that, be there, Ben. He's got to shoot that 3. Here's Merez. Out of bounds. If I were to go with that, I would wonder why, with 12 to go, don't you just try something? Just try something. And you could say, well, why get desperate with 12 to go? It's a game. You got to win. Try things. Don't just say, well, this is what we do, and we're just going to roll. Like, I would occasionally like to see more urgency from him. That's all. And I think that's fair. Ben almost loses it. He does not. And he banks it in. So it is a 6-point lead. Illinois is going to go full court here with 3 to go. Please let all this conversation be for naught. In other words, pull off a comeback that's like, what? And let's just laugh about Carp getting all angry about. I'm not even that angry. Disappointed. I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. Like a bad parent. Uh-oh. Did something bad happen here? Do we got a foul on Illinois? I don't know. It's hard to. I can't tell if some of you guys are ahead of me or not because Eric said this really hurts Carp. And I'm like, oh well, it's 6-point lead, USC ball. Like, yeah. USC ball with 2:54 to go, 6-point lead. It's just, God, where was this energy before? Here's Desmond Claude. And they're going to call a shooting foul on Merez. So he breaks that pressure with no problem. We'll go back to an 8-point lead. Yeah, Merez just had no chance there. But for Claude to be able to get that free, where all of a sudden you got Merez in no man's land. Isaac says Brad's fault today. Isaac, were you here with me last year, the Penn State game, when Coleman blew it? And we call that podcast Bad Underwood. and a month later, they're in the Elite Eight, so it's like that's sports fandom. We question our coaches. I do question parts of Brad. I don't question a lot of it just because he's had sustained success here at a high level. But this is stupid. This would be a dumb loss. And just kind of, you finish the year and you're 2 games back in the Big Ten standings. It's like, well, maybe you shouldn't have lost at Northwestern. Maybe you shouldn't have lost at USC. People would say, well, do you expect 20-0? No. But why can't it just be, tough loss on the road, something like that, which happens to a lot of teams, and no one would fault Illinois for, they lost to Michigan State. No one would fault them for that. From Isaac, Brad isn't missing all the open threes and turning it over, but Claude having success is on Brad. Claude is unstoppable, and he has not been unstoppable this year. He's been pretty good, but not unstoppable. And a foul on USC, so Conlon will go to the line. It is going to be 1-1 for him. It's an 8-point game with 2:36 to go. USC is going to finish with over 80 points. And I don't know what their metrics are offensively. 101. They got 69 points in Indiana. They got 74 at home against Michigan. And this is a team that has lost. I mean, they're 9-6. They aren't that good. I'm not trying to crap on them, but even without Kasparis, you should be better than them. And you aren't. Not today. Man, the Brad criticisms are rolling in. Hey, that's okay. I mean, roll them in, guys. Colin misses the second, so it's a 7-point lead with 2:30 to go. And here's Claude, and I'd be surprised if it leaves his hand. I mean, why would it? Kylan's on him. Only 5 fouls in Illinois, so you could give up a foul and not be bonus. Here's Claude. I mean, it's just no contest. No contest at all. And then a putback. This is a damaging loss. This is bad. And it would be, oh, you lost by 1. Oh, my God. No, they've been better than you for 36 minutes. Substantially. Consistently up 5-6 points. That isn't good. Yeah, people are leaving. Damn. I mean, it is a 10-point game with 2 minutes to go, so it is all but over. It just, yeah. I want to thank our sponsors because when this game's over, I'm not going to stick around. Hamilton Walkers, Steak, Seafood, and Spirits in downtown Champaign. State Farm agent Brian Hansen, online at brianismyguy.com. Life, auto, home, business renters, you name it, brianismyguy.com. And Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend at 217-841-4728. And finally, got to thank Owen Builders LLC, online at owenbuildersllc.com. Check out a gallery of their home projects and get a free quote at owenbuildersllc.com. It's going to be turnover, timeout USC, 10-point lead. We're just running out the clock. And, no, I expect a better effort on Wednesday. But, and I would expect them to get one of these road games. But this is troubling. Like, this would be the USC's first ranked road win since 2010. Illinois seeking their 5th straight Big Ten win. Well, that's not going to happen. This is from, I thought this was an interesting point here from Ben. No, sorry. Well, Ben, you had some good stuff too. This is from Ben. Really good teams with the type of talent Brad brings in don't lay as many eggs as most BU teams do. It would be difficult with the sheer number of wins for me to say, God, I'm so sick of Brad Underwood's teams losing. But you're right. There is this feeling, and this is what happens when you are successful, as they break the press with no problems. It's a 12-point USC lead. There is this sense that Brad's teams will just out of nowhere be like, what in the hell was that? And Tomislav can't even make a layup. Actually, that's my cue to leave. I can't watch that crap. I can't watch a 7'1" guy not make a goddamn layup when he's literally right there. I don't care if he got fouled a little bit. Make the freaking layup. See? I'm okay. Let me just sip my coffee. There we go. From Seth, Illinois got their ass kicked at home. Yeah, they did. Not good. So before we go, can you guys help me think of a title for this? Oh, Kerry Booth time. You guys can help me think of a title. Trojan horse. I mean, there was the old mythological story about the Trojan horse. Avoid any puns with any of the Trojan brand. You know, we could certainly go that direction, but this is a family-friendly program. Don't let the cursing today. Don't let the cursing today fool you. I think, Ryan, you are the winner. Brad Underwood 2, Electric Boogaloo. What the hell? Let's poke fun at the fact that people continue to think that I am the most anti-Brad Underwood person ever. They call it Bad Underwood 2, Electric Boogaloo. You can't lose this game. You're about to lose this game. Yeah, that's on the coach. That is on the coach because you look like a... I need a quick curse. Sorry, music started playing there. Yeah, I need to quit cursing. I'm sorry, everybody. Out of bounds, Illinois ball. Oh, my God. It's just sad. See, Bad Underwood 2, Ben, you say The Empire Strikes Back, but that's really episode 5. So Bad Underwood 2, Attack of the Clones, or it was Attack of the Clones, so Attack of the Trojans, I don't know. We are not going to make any wildfire puns. I won't be that in poor taste. That stuff is insane, like what's going on out there. So I would not broach something like that. Will can't make a layup. USC gets the board, and looks like they might get a dunk here. Nope, they're pulling it back. We do not play USC again, Eric. That is it for that. So we're in foul mode, down 10 with 1:20 to go. I'm not going to dignify this Illinois team with the last minute 22. It was a crap performance, and they deserve to lose. And now there are more questions than answers. Wow. Thank you all for tuning in on YouTube. Thank you for listening if you are a glutton for punishment. I don't know how many people are going to actually tune into this podcast after. So maybe all those SH words are going to go unnoticed. But, man, yikes. So when are we playing again? Wednesday night against Indiana? Wednesday night. Eric, can you do me a quick favor? What time is that game? I want to say it's a 6 or 7, a little bit earlier, which is great. But, yeah, Wednesday night. Oh, I think I hear the street plow coming by. There we go. And what I love, too, is after this, I get to enjoy 30 degrees and snowy weather. I love winter. It just really makes my spirits bright. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Just a mess. Dre 3 is up. It's no good. Can't make a shot. 6 o'clock. Right? This is from Wesley. I know it'll be tough, but a 2-0 week next week will change things. Get KJ back healthy. Be 2 teams ahead of you in the standings. Got to have it to make up for this loss. Wesley, that's really it. You're right. You don't go 2-0, then you are still behind the 8 ball compared to Michigan State and Michigan. But I'm not going to talk Big Ten title until you're right, until you would win those 2 games as USC gets another rebound. On that note, hey, YouTube, thanks for hanging around on this awful game. Bad Underwood 2, Electric Boogaloo. We'll go with it. Might get some crap, but so be it. And we will see you Wednesday night, whatever time that game is. Have a good rest of your weekend. Watch some football, and what can you do? We got no control over this game. Too bad they just sucked. We'll be back on Wednesday night. It is the 200 level. Sorry for the cursing. Have a good rest of your Saturday, everybody. 6 o'clock on Wednesday. Thank God it's not late. If that goes bad, I need to cleanse the palate with some Simpsons or something like that. All right, everybody. Take care. We'll see you.